Makolek ko yung ano sa Baguio. Ayan, diretso na. Diretso na yan. Okay. Lola, amom, kastang ti peach ti talano. Yan. Ayan, agawid ak Lola. Ikaw na bahala. Si Kamet. Okay. Now, let's go to the serious stuff. Let's discuss these issues. Let's go through 5 cabinet positions since Sarah did not get Department of National Defense. Depends kanino pupunta yan. Sige na nga, I'll discuss also DepEd. Sige na nga. So I'll discuss DepEd and 4 key cabinet positions. Alright? Okay. I'm not saying DepEd is not important. I'm just saying it's not considered the top 4 cabinet positions. Okay. Unang-una, sa DFA, as I said, there are 2 diplomats in the run. One is a appointed diplomat at a very high level, who has been doing very well. Our ambassador to Washington, D.C., Babe Romualdez, who happens to be a distant relative of the president. I don't know, that may make it harder or easier. I don't know how it works, it depends. At pangalawa, of course, someone from within, a USEC, right, and an ambassador to a Latin American country. I'm not gonna name drop now, so I want to wait for the confirmation. And number 3, of course, my former professor / mentor, etc. Muhammad Carlos could be also in the mix, no? Right. Now, at least sure tayo, yung DOH, di ko pa muna pag-usapan, magulo din yan. Kasi, basta wala na si Duque. Yun lang yata mangyari. Yun lang alam ko. Wala na si Duque dyan sa DOH. Yun lang alam natin dyan. Ewan ko na dyan sa mga Farmali, mga ganyan. Okay. So, let's discuss this seriously. What should happen under DFA, Department of Finance, Department of National Defense, and DILG under the next president, incoming president? All right, mates, listen to me, mates. Classroom, listen, okay? Serious to. Wait lang, masikip talaga tong Italian na natin. Okay. All that's happening, actually, you shouldn't close it when you're sitting. But kasi mas maganda may V-shape na gan. But anyway, DFA. So far, so good. First major leader, if not the first leader, who called President-elect Marcos. And by the way, the term President-elect was used by the White House. And you can guess what's my answer. President Joseph Biden. So President Joseph Biden was the first major leader, if not the first leader, to have called Bongbong Marcos. It was only days later, I think 4 or 5 days later, na tumawag si President Xi Jinping. So that tells you na very proactive yung approach ng Biden administration. At alam niyo, si President Biden has been on the way to South Korea. I think he already landed or something like that. So he'll be on an Asia tour. He'll go around Indo-Pacific. So President Biden, in fairness, has been very proactive in reaching out dun sa incoming president natin. Okay. Now, obviously, Biden is a Democrat. Obviously, Biden, naniniwala siya sa democracy promotion. They hosted the Democracy Summit last year. It was quite controversial. A number of countries, key partners, were not invited. Singapore, Vietnam. Obviously, Vietnam doesn't pass as democracy, but some would say maybe Singapore, you can still kind of squeeze it in because they at least have elections, although we know they're not a liberal democracy. But India and the Philippines were invited. So there has been an effort to reach out. I'm not sure how many calls there were sa pagitan ni President Biden and President Duterte, but probably it's barely north of 0. So walang masyadong interaction nangyayari sa pagitan ng dalawang leader na yan. So mukhang talagang game plan ng Biden administration was to focus on the next Filipino president. And dito, let me get serious, guys, because there are a number of key issues that will come up in our alliance and our relationship with the United States. First and foremost is the issue of Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. Okay, yung EDCA. Oh, yan, serious na tayo, klasa. Remember yung EDCA, Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. Hindi po ito Visiting Forces Agreement, hindi po ito Mutual Defense Treaty natin sa Amerika, yung MDT natin, right? This is a derivative agreement which helps us to operationalize our treaty with the Americans, right? And sa ilalim ng EDCA, a number of bases, Basa, Bautista Air Base, so from Pampanga all the way to Palawan, no, P2P, Americans were expected to have full access on a rotational basis to some of the very important strategic locations. Siyempre, yung Pampanga, Basa, medyo mas malapit sa Scarborough Shoal. Yung Bautista naman, medyo malapit sa Pag-asa. Scarborough Shoal, sorry. yung Basa Air Base, Pampanga, mas malapit sa Scarborough Shoal, Panatag Shoal, and then yung Bautista Air Base in Palawan ay mas malapit sa Pag-asa, no? Okay, sorry, medyo mahaba yung gabi natin. So, the EDCA operationalization will be at the very top of discussions with America, and the Biden administration wants that to be fully operationalized para yung ating alyansa with America ay pwede gamitin ng gusto in terms of creating yung tinatawag na minimum deterrence against further Chinese encroachment into our water. So, mahalaga yung itong EDCA issue na yan. Pangalawang issue is, of course, yung issue ng good governance. Napakamahalaga yung ating next foreign secretary ay signal sa Amerika na the return of the Marcoses doesn't necessarily mean the return of, okay, you can disagree with me whatever you want, you can talk Talano, but around the world, the Marcoses have a reputation, right? All of these ill-gotten wealth issues, all of these court cases in the US, etc., etc. Now, as I said, if there's any issue doon sa travel restrictions, travel concerns, dahil sa court cases laban sa Marcoses, because President-elect Marcos will have sovereign immunity soon, I don't think he'll have any serious problems. There'll be protests, whatever, yes, but in terms of visiting, he'll have sovereign immunity. And we actually have a precedence whereby Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, based on allegations of his involvement in pogrom in Gujarat in the early 2000s, actually meron siyang travel restrictions, pero tinanggal yan. So yung issue na yun will be also a little bit tricky to working around that. And number 3, of course, I can go forever, but I'll just discuss 4 key things under the DFA. And the number 3 is China. I think napakamahalaga na dun sa relasyon natin sa China, we make it clear to our Chinese partners, we want cooperation, we're open to engagement, we don't want conflict, pero, it has to be a results-oriented and mutually respectful relationship. Results-oriented. Hindi yung si tatay taken for a ride. Ang daming pinangako sa kanya. Nasan yung mga Chinese big ticket infrastructure projects? Sorry, muntik na ulit. Yung big ticket, hindi yung mga bridge lang dyan sa Pasig na 2-lane tapos 6-lane then 2-lane. Hindi yung ganun, yung totoong big ticket infrastructure projects. Right? So we have to have a results-oriented cooperation with China, and to make sure na hindi abusuin itong cooperation to push their claims at their expense at saka yung ating mga ingista sa West Philippine Sea. And number 4, we have to reach out to our friends in the rest of the international community, especially in Europe. So magkakaroon ng Europe-Asia Summit, major summit in Brussels later this year. So I think this is a good chance for incoming president to go there, to meet our partners in Europe, to send the right signals and tell the world that Marcos 2.0 is not what you think, or Marcos 2.0 is going to be better than what you think. And this is what I'm saying. May number of low-hanging fruits for President Marcos to actually send the right signals. Number 1, restore the franchise of ABS-CBN. We know what the circumstances, wag tayo magbola dito. Pangalawa, yung kay Leila de Lima. Alam natin what are the circumstances. Come on, guys. I mean, joke time lahat yan. And 5 years of her life, based on those nonsensical allegations, etc. And number 3, EJK cases. Mahalaga na i-signal na President Marcos will be for war on drugs, but one that uses scalpel, not hammer. Hindi bara-bara, but more surgical approach, right? So the DFA will have to work on those 4 fronts immediately within the first 6 months of the incoming administration. Okay, so serious na tayo, guys. Ito na. Sa DOF naman, so I think we're hearing in news na turn down ng an ex-classmate at some top banker person yung job for DOF. That's not a good thing. There were discussions that even Cesar Purisima or maybe even Mar Rojas were offered. I don't think they're going to take it because everyone is scared to be cancelled, especially by the kakamping side. And a lot of kakamping side, a lot of them also are influential people within AB class, within the creative class, within the social circles, and so on and so forth. Now, whoever becomes the next Department of Finance, and my idea is Carl Chua, I think will be great for that. If we cannot get the first options, maybe Carl Chua can be the guy for that. He worked as Chief Economist of the Department of Finance. He has headed the NEDA, first as interim, then as permanent. I think Carl Chua will be the right guy. At ang kailangan kasi dito sa Department of Finance, again, this has to be the signal. So the good thing for President Marcos Jr. is that he's coming in as we are in the tail end of the pandemic recession. Of course, may growth tayo over the past year or so. But remember, we had almost a 10% decline in 2020. So we're coming back, but we're still trying to reach where we were in 2019. So we went deep like that, and so we're coming back. So it's like a U shape or some would even say a W shape, but let's just call it a U shape. So recovery. So BBM will come in somewhere here. So in terms of economic growth, I think he'll be in a position to say we are recovering, etc., etc. But ito kasing problema, lumaki po yung utang natin at saka yung debt to GDP ratio natin ay lumala. Now, it's not Greece level, thank God. I don't think we're going to face sovereign debt crisis. Our sovereign credit ratings are still okay. But we have to be careful. And I think it's napakamahalaga for the incoming administration, particularly Department of Finance, na ito yung sasabihin niya sa mga merkado, no? Na huwag kayong huwag kayong mag-alala. Nabubulol na ako. Dahil, yes, gusto namin ituloy yung mga build projects ni Pangulong Duterte. Yes, gusto namin ituloy ang talaga ng gold distribution. Ay, gusto namin ituloy yung conditional cash transfer, blah, 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 blah. But, sisiguraduhin namin na we don't breach a certain threshold of budget deficit. Now, our deficit spending will be within certain limit, and our borrowing rates, we're gonna moderate it, not go crazy like what happened during martial law period. Utang na utang, gastos ng gastos, and then the next generations have to pay for it. When Marcos had to step down, we had more than $20 billion in debt. A lot of that, still the next generations are paying. Based on one number we saw until 2025, binabayaran pa yan. Kasi nag-utang ka pa para bayaran mo yung principal, and then utang ka pa para bayaran mo yung interest. So in the process, may bago kang utang, so it keeps on going down and down and down, no? Throughout the generation. So may pangit na reputation kasi the last time Marcos was in power. In terms of the I'm talking about the markets, guys. Please don't shoot the messengers. I'm just telling honestly. Ayaw maniwala sa akin, go and talk to Wall Street people, go and talk to markets. Tignan niyo naman nangyayari sa stock markets at saka sa peso, di ba? Sobrang hina ang peso recently. Come on, guys. Please, don't shoot the message. I'm just trying to... So what I'm saying is, how can we help the situation, right? Kaya mahalaga na meron tayong isang leader na sasabihin sa mga merkado is that I know meron kayong preconceived notions sa mga Marcoses, etc., but this is what we're gonna do. Budget deficit, we're gonna minimize it over the coming years. At the same time, ituloy namin yung build projects, but make sure na cost overruns, corruption, etc., will keep it within a certain limit or essentially within the limits of acceptability. At hindi kami utang ng utang just to give good times to people, to push up our popularity, and then kawawa yung next administration. Because tinitingnan talaga ng merkado yan eh. Hindi mo mauuto yung merkado. Okay? Hindi mo pwede maano yung mga merkado, okay? I know it because I deal with these people, okay guys? Yung mga big hedge funds, investors, who do you think they go to when they're doing political analysis? They don't go to those junk food bloggers. Those are jokes. No one takes them seriously. Not even their own amo takes them seriously. They're just there to spread poison. But what I'm talking about is like the serious people, they come to people like me, okay? People who have done their due diligence and all of that. And you know, we'll give them the facts, right? Okay. So don't shoot the messages. So mahalaga ito sa DOF. Sa DND naman, I can go forever, but there's an overlap with DFA. But one thing I can say in DND is napakamahalaga na yung susunod na ating Department of National Defense Secretary, magfo-focus siya dito sa third phase ng modernization ng AFP natin, ng revised AFP modernization na sinimulan ni President Aquino. In fairness to President Duterte, tinuloy niya ito hanggang second phase. So, papunta na tayo third phase. May delay tayo in implementation of second phase. Pero guys, mahalaga kasi yung third phase because, nakita niyo ba yung aeroplano dun sa likod ko? Yan. Dahil guys, kailangan natin i-upgrade yung Air Force natin. Diba? Congrats pala kay Heidelin Diaz. God bless you. God bless you, ma'am. Ikaw talaga the best. The best. May gold na naman tayo. Air Force siya, diba? Philippine Air Force siya, diba? Okay. So, the Philippine Air Force needs real fighters. Hindi yung FA-15 na kinuha natin sa Korea. Ano lang yan? Upgraded trainer. We need real fighters. We need F-15, F-16s, the modern versions. And for those who are geek enough, they know na 1996-7 pa lang, we were supposed to get F-18 Hornets. And then Asian financial crisis happened, we didn't get it. So sana naman at least F-15, F-16 we can get so that we're in a position to move to 4.5 generation and 5th generation fighters within the next 20-25 years. Kasi yung mga kapitbahay natin guys, Thailand, Singapore, mag-5th generation na sila. Yung Singapore, may F-35 na silang binili eh. Right? So yung Thailand might get two versions. Might get F-35 but also might get, who knows, maybe from Russians or the Chinese. They might also get 5th generation fighters. So, let's see guys. Kaya mahalaga dito sa DND, the first thing is ituloy yung mga magandang nangyari sa sa ilalim ng Duterte and Aquino administration. Kasama din dyan, God bless him, Secretary Lorenzano's efforts to strengthen yung position natin sa Pag-asa, yung mga base na ginawa natin, yung mga desalinization facilities, etc. So we need to see that in the DND. And then sa DLG naman, again, guys, this is just a very brief one, just giving an idea how we can move forward. Tapos sa DLG naman, sana naman matatanggal yung mga yung mga kakaiba, yung mga pandemic, di ba? Yung mga I think it's very important for the ILG to send the right signal in terms of yung red tagging, right? In terms of yung mga netizens na medyo critical sa policies tas biglang pwede mo sila masapina. Yung mga ganon. So I think it's very important the ILG sends the right signal that we will preserve internal order without undermining basic civil liberties and our constitutional democracy. And lastly, DepEd. DOH, we can have a discussion about that later. So DepEd naman, guys, sana naman hindi lilitaw masyado yung tala na gold at saka yung Yamashita, yung mga ganon, alright? Sana naman, di ba? At ang gusto ko mangyari sana sa DepEd, I'm not saying I'm optimistic it's gonna happen, but sana naman, yung mga efforts natin in terms of building critical thinking vis-a-vis social media, especially sa mga kabataan natin, na may improve. Dapat meron social media literacy ang kabataan natin para makikita nila ano yung fake, anong hindi. At makikita nila, at pero silang discerning capability na makikita kung ano yung fake account, fake news site, at saka yung totoo. So we need to really strengthen that dun sa basic level pa lang, dun sa pinaka-basic level pa lang, guys, no? Which is our basic education. At sana naman alagaan yung kalagayan ng ating mga guro, especially sa public school among others, and also give them the proper training para naman tugma din yung kanilang pananaw, tsaka yung pagtuturo at tsaka yung kanilang pedagogy dun sa mga latest development nangyari sa ating very increasingly digitalized world. No? So, yun ang mga kailangan natin dyan. Yeah, of course, we can talk about DOJ, etc. There are a lot of other cabinets to talk about. But honestly, the four key cabinets really are DFA, DOF, DND, and DILG. These are considered the big four. Alright? Ito yung big four cabinets. Alright? Kumbaga parang, UANP. Right? Biglang may big four para may ganun. Of course, all cabinets matters, but four cabinets matter even more. Okay? And sinong mga nag-occupy ng mga cabinets na yan also tells you a lot about the direction of the administration, how inclusive it is, how progressive it is, how capable it is. Sana A-lister, sana best and brightest, but we're getting some news that some of the top guys are having second thoughts of joining this cabinet because of the fear of getting cancelled or whatever and all the stress that can come from it. But anyway, I'm not here to decide for them or to name names. Andito lang ako para sabihin anong kailangan natin makita sa mga incoming top cabinet positions to send the right signals to our international partners and also uphold yung ating national interest. Okay? So, speaking of that, ano ulit yung Balenciaga ni Lenny? Kamusta ang Balenciaga? Ano bang kwenta ng Balenciaga na yan? Ano daw yon? Gift daw yon? Tuloy, nagyayabang na lahat ng dyan. I'm single mom, but I have the Louis Vuitton. I'm ordinary, but I have Hermes. Ganyan naman tayo. Nag-flex na yung mga tao. Nag-flex na. Ako, ang finilex ko lang kanina, guys, yung channeling my inner Justin Bieber. Tapos may nag-comment, Sir, yung mga matanda ang katulad natin, millennials, Justin T daw. Timberlake, hindi Bieber. Walang nilait na naman ako sa sarili kong page. Guys naman, pagbigyan nyo na ako sa sariling page ko na nga pinatulan nyo pa. Sabi ko, Piolo P. Pero parang Robin P daw yung labas. Ayan tayo. Yung isa nagsabi na pa, Andrew E. Ayan na, block ko na yan. Ayan na. Okay, back to work na naman ako. Best and brightest. Yung top 4, sana, di ba? DepEd, no comment. No comment. Nag-comment na ako, tapos na ako dyan. Basta mamaya, baka yung ni Lapu-Lapu, parang Tatay Digong nang lalabas pag sa DepEd Ayan tayo Ayan tayo. Wait lang. Ba't kamukha ni Tatay Digong? Tapos, inaano niya si Magellan. Wait lang, parang si Tatay Digong yung picture na yan, Sino yan? Hindi na malapo lang si Tatay Digong nagagan sa Magellan. Tapos si Magellan parang medyo mukhang Trump na may beard. Ayan tayo Ayan tayo Alright, guys. Sige, ayan. May good vibes na tayo. I'm just fair, Alam ko may mga nagtatroll dyan. Balingan ko mamaya. Busy pa ako, Oo. Kaya nang bahala sa troll na yan, Bahala na Ayan na, kaya nang bahala. Ayan, Picasso painting left the group. Ayan, oo nga pala. Yun nga eh, Balenciaga, tapos ang katapat Picasso. Ayan. Oo, alam ko, Mitch, na si Piolo is matanda na. Sorry, sir. Sorry, bro. Pero, di ba siya yung nagsimula yung style? Yung parang t-shirt ganun, tapos polo ganun. Ano yung meron silang show dati? Sila nila, yung puro sila, parang Jericho Rosales times, mga old times na yan, mga ganun, mga 1990s ganun. So, mga ganun format, di ba? T-shirt, tapos polo on top, mga ganun. Early 2000s, yan. Oo. So, ano ba talaga? Yung Hermes yung gift or yung Lanzones yung gift? Saan galing Balenciaga? Ibang klase. Balenciaga talaga. Hindi man lang. Talagang next level. My taste. My taste. Pero, talo pa rin tayo sa yung Picasso na nawala. Sa picture tuloy. Nasaan yung Picasso? May Monet nga di ba? May Monet nga. Ayan tayo eh. O, sabi ni Vida, gwapo daw si Piolo in person. Huwag kayong ganon. Mas gwapo pa tayo pag joke lang. Hindi ako nag-joke. Ano sinasabi niyo dyan? Yung Hermes po ang gift. Ayan, okay, let's get this right Mga ka-Justin T, mga ka-Meta. Yung Hermes yung gift, yung Balenciaga ay ano? Ano yung Balenciaga? Inipon. Hindi, ganito kasi. Okay, ganito kasi. I'll be honest about this. I'll be honest. Kasi, yung image kasi ni Lenny, or at least pinoportray ng kanyang supporters, yung super simple, nagbabas, naggaganon. So, syempre, I mean, of course, she has all the rights in the world, to wear nice and get good gifts or whatever, right? At siguro naman yung isang VP, ma-afford naman niya kahit isang magandang bag, di ba? After all this. Hindi naman issue. Ang issue ko kasi, in-exploit nung kabila yung idea na pinipresent nyo si Lenny na ganito, sobrang simple, gano'n, nagbabas, gano'n, natutulog sa bench, gano'n, 18 hours, whatever. And then may Balenciaga or Hermes next to her. So that creates some sort of dissonance. So that's what they're exploiting. Again, I'm very clear that they're exploiting that. Because she has all the right to have a nice bag. Tapos yung kabila naman, wala naman pretension eh. Wala naman pretension ng Marcos is, di ba? I'm so New York. Sabi nga niya, di ba? I'm so New York. They can't afford me, di ba? Di ba? So at least, wala eh. Talagang di ba? Si Tatay Digong, no comment na ako dyan. Mahirap na, alis na siya eh. Di ba BMW yung bike niya? Parang ganun ang tsura. Hindi ko alam parang nakita ko isa parang BMW. But anyway, meron siyang yung parang, yung sa mosquito, net, tapos tulog siya. Kung simple lang si Tatay Digong, tulog siya, lang. But you get what I'm saying, guys, alright? Hindi, the hunks ba yun, Neat? Hindi the hunks eh, something else eh. Yung parang, andun yung mga babae din, hindi ko na maalala yung mga pangalan nila eh. Ano pangalan isa? Yung isang artista na, may dimple din siya na malaking chinito. Anong pangalan nun? Basta, ewan ko na, di naman ako. Guys, artistahin ako pero hindi ako mahilig sa mga artista. Ayan tayo eh. Ayan. Talano. Number 31,232,000. Boom. Number 31,242,733. Yan. Yan. Ayan tayo. Sorry guys, I'm so New York. Alright? I'm so New York. Okay? At hindi katulad ng mga vloggers dyan, you can't afford me. Okay? I'm my own man, okay? Alright. Salamat. May mga tanong ba kayo dyan, guys? Ito na, bukas si Sabbath day, so please magpahinga kayo. Spend time with family, loved ones, have some spiritual time, have some rejuvenation, etc. Ayan. So, yung time na left before Sunday, I'll have to work, and then Sabbath day na tayo. Alright? So, I'll see you guys early next week, God willing. Okay? Depending on schedule and all. Let's see what we can do. But I hope, in my own small ways, dito sa ating discussion, we're able to map out what's good for our country. Alright, again, ayan, Dieter Ocampo, tama. Yan, yung kasabay niya sila Dieter Ocampo and all. Yan, okay. Anyway, delayed reaction eh. Saan na tayo? No, but what I'm trying to say here is, I know, iba sa inyo, supporting this side, that side, but for a moment, let's just think about the national interest, right? And what should happen coming next. Siyempre, yung iba gusto nila impeachment, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but what I'm talking about is, as things stand, ceteris paribus, these are the things we want to happen in the key cabinet positions para our country is in good place. Alright, in a good place, in a good way. Alright, hindi yung ano na naman. Okay. Alright? Okay, may tanong ba kayo dyan? Oh, gimmick ba yun? Gimmick? O yan, whatever. Ang alam ko, click, di ba? May katapat yung kabila na click, GMA. Pero medyo mas bata yung mga click eh. Parang teenager version, parang gano'n. Oo, Dieter Ocampo. Yun ang kasabay niya. Tapos sino yung babae, yung maganda? What's her name? Yung medyo hazel eye, hazel colored niya. Ano yan? Ano pangalan nun? Anyways, okay. Mamaya na tayo magchismisan. Thank you kay Mitch. At mga loyal friends natin dyan, nagbibigay ng stars. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Pangalan natin dyan, number 23,222,000. Bigyan. Dapat gusto ko yung picture, ganun ah. Ganun yung picture eh. Hindi yung nagtapon. Ganun yung picture eh. Yung mga gold bar, ginaganon. Ibang klase. Ibang klase talaga. Wala na talaga mangyayari sa atin. Wala na talaga. Wala na. Awanan. Kawit na yun. Awanan. Ayan. Thank you guys. Ayan, good vibes tayo. Okay. Binibigay ko kayo ng good vibes. Pansin ko minsan, trabaho ko lang yata dito, yung motivational speech. Hindi na kayo nakikinig. Yan, Christine Hermosa. Yan, napakaganda. And I'm saying it, by the way, in a very aesthetic way. I mean, all respect and all of that. Yeah. She's very pretty. Yeah. Yeah, yung Dieter Ocampo, Christine Hermosa, Piola, di ba parang ganun yun? Yung gimmick ba yan? Ayan, mga ganun. Di ba ganun yung forma niya? Mga shirt, tapos may polo, ganun. Alright. Ayan na. Sorry na mga kazadi. Mga kazadi, number 20 million. Ayan. Thank you talaga. I appreciate it, guys. You sticking through your stars. Thank you, Adrian, for... Saan yung mga friends natin dyan from different parts of the world? Nasaan na kayo? Bakit puro mga taga-QC lang nandito? Baka, weekend kasi, di ba? So, siguro nagre-relax na sila. Wala na kayong paki sa akin. Ayan. Uy, si Bobby Andrews, di ba, tumakbo din yan? Parang counselor dito sa QC. Ayan. Ganyan naman kayo, lahat kamukha ko na. Bobby Andrews. Tapos, sabi niya isa, kamukha mo si Dave Chappelle. Like, Dave Chappelle, medyo malayo na yan, Yan tayo. Medyo okay. Alright, yes. Ano na, wala na, mahina na yung mata ko. Ano yan? Basahin natin. Yeah. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko na dapat ma-release si Layla tsaka ma-restore yung ABS. I think that could send good signals. Yep. Ayan, mga friends natin from Paris. Comment ça va? Yan. Thank you for joining us. Mga friends natin from Los Angeles, California, Novelita. Thank you very much for joining us. Where are my friends from Australia? What's up, mates? Hey, mates? Tulog na sila eh. 10 p.m. na yata dyan eh. Baka naman sa atin si ano. Ayan, friends natin from Taiwan. Ni hao ma. Meron tayong friends from Melbourne, Close to close to our man of the hour. Andun daw siya eh. Friends naman natin dyan from Hong Kong. Kamusta naman, Jing? Kamusta naman Hong Kong dyan? Ayan, medyo may mga friends like Hong Kong, Marikina. Ayan, yung pala eh. Sabihin nyo, mga sir, present from 48th parallel, mga ganyan. Ayan, bigay tayo ng engineering coordinates, okay? Magana tayo dyan. Thank you, Rolando, for your support and all. I just was, arigato for joining us. Very kind. Wala tayong friends from Korea? From Korea, wala tayo? Kansamida. Yan. Friends natin dyan from Denmark. Ano man? Copenhagen. Saan ba yan? Yan. Friends natin from Hong Kong. Uy, marami pala tayong friends, Huwag na kayo manood sa akin. Umalis na kayo. Go out and enjoy your time. Mag-enjoy kayo dyan. Thank you kay Novelita for your stars. Muchas gracias, senyora. Yan. Jarl, thank you. Sino pa nandyan? Ayan. May mga taga-Australia nga. Marlena. Yung cousin natin dyan sa Sydney, Australia. Kamusta kayo dyan? Shout out. Yan. Friends natin from New Jersey. From Pangasinan, from Valenzuela. Wala ba tayong friends dyan from Mexico, Pampanga. Yan ang mga favorite ko eh. From Mexico, Pampanga. Yan. Alright. Okay. God bless, guys. Ito na, 8 p.m. na. You have to get back to work. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you kay Joan from Urdaneta City, to Pressy from Toronto. Ito, from Toronto yan, Blue Jays. Yan. Thank you to Miriam for your support. Thank you to Mark joining us from Riyadh. Wassalamu alaikum. I hope our friends, yes, from Greece, Santorini, yan, Bing, yung mga friends natin dyan sa Doha, malapit ng World Cup. Alam nyo nang kailangan natin. Kailangan natin ng alam na, Bet Spacer. Ayan, thank you, friends natin from Zamboanga City. Yan, thank you so much mga friends natin from Mindanao. Love na love ko kayo. Friends natin from New Jersey, from Leyte. Yung talagang Greece. Si Anna, very active si Anna. Kamusta dyan sa Greece? From Hong Kong, Lizelle. Yun. Good vibes, okay? Thank you very much, guys. God bless you and see you next